Thank you for joining us. We're going to talk brokerage entry audits. I'm not. Jamie's going to do the talking. But we're talking about this in the context of the Trump tariffs.
Yes, the Trump tariffs, that we lovingly call them. There is a wide variety of tariffs that have been in place for many, many years. Things like anti-dumping and the standard duty. There's been, plenty of even the 301s have been around since the first Trump administration. And there's many levers that have been used, but we've never seen this much usage of so many levers at one time. So it has been a really, really busy time for the past year.
How do you keep up with it?
It is more critical than ever that you stay on top of this information. Because the tariffs have increased that complexity, it's also increased cost. The administration has bragged about the billions of dollars they've collected, which, from that perspective is great. But from an industry perspective, that's money out of our pockets that is quite, impactful to the industry. And so with that in mind, they are also ratcheting up enforcement. So you really have to make sure that you're following the letter of the law and staying on top of everything, and also staying on top of your broker. So your customs broker is responsible for putting that information into their systems. And many of them do it very, very well, but there are some that don't. They maybe don't have the knowledge that they should have, or their systems can't keep up with all the changes, and so information's been being put in correctly. So what does that mean? You need to review an audit.
Yeah. Typically what triggers the scrutiny in terms of is there any popular than not?
Pretty much everything.
Okay. All right. That's
there are they definitely in their enforcement activities, because there's so much information in ACE, which is the new government system that you now have access to, but also consider that customs has access to do, and they are definitely doing their review, and they're checking those entries, and they're looking for problems. Wow, yeah. They're looking for issues. They're looking for errors. So it could be things like classification. They could see valuation anomalies, so that if you have a product that you've been bringing in that was X dollars and now it's a lot less, that's going to trigger something in their system as to why is that happening. You could have country of origin issues where you've been bringing in a product forever from China, and all of a sudden that product's coming from the UK. That's going to trigger something in their system. So they're looking for those issues, and as they find them, they're sending out notices, they're sending out inquiries, they're sending out investigations. So they're on top of this, and so you need to be as well.
Well, and you've been in this business for quite some time now, and you're new to Vigilant, and they're happy to have you. I mean, what is Vigilant? How can they help with this?
Yeah, the main thing that Vigilant can do is support on that import entry side. That you need to be able to take your entries and review them very thoroughly. And if you don't have the time or the capacity to do that, and also sometimes leveraging a third party is really important, because sometimes you don't see the forest through the trees. But if you give it to someone different, a third party that does that review, they know what to look for, they know what to dig into. They're looking at it as from a fresh set of eyes, so to speak. And so it's a really great way of doing it. I will say that, in some of the entry reviews that we've done in the past, both here and at companies I've been at before, over the past year, there have been a lot of errors on the brokerage side. And it's just, again, please hug your broker. They've been through a lot this year, and the IT folks that support them have been through a lot this year, but there are mistakes being made. So we found one particular importer that they were bringing in goods, the aluminum tariffs, which is the 232 aluminum tariffs, which have been quite impactful for anyone that's got metal in any product. There is a special requirement that you do have to make sure you know exactly where did that good come from, where did the metal come from, where was it poured or smelted. All of those are things you have to have. And if you don't, on the aluminum side, they automatically assign a 200% Russian tariff on top of those goods. So we've seen several importers that even with all of the smelting certificates and everything that was US origin aluminum, they applied the 200% tariff.
Boy.
And the company was paying it month after month after month and didn't even know. But again, having a fresh set of eyes, a different perspective, we looked at it and we're like, you've doubled the amount of tariffs or quadrupled the amount of tariffs you should have been paying all along. So, if you can't do it yourself, leverage a third party. If you can't afford the third party, do it yourself. But make sure you're looking at it. And again, be patient with your broker and understanding, but trust but verify.